Hi there, Taurus. Welcome to your mid-March 2025 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. Um, if you're somebody who's coming from my main channel, Rena Moon Astrology, welcome. If you're somebody just off the street who just happened upon my channel, welcome. I have a main channel that is just with astrology now. I'm separating the two. It took me long enough, almost 10 years, but here I am. And I'm just seeing how it works, see if it's a better fit for me. So in any case, if you like astrology too, please check out my channel, my main channel, Rena Moon Astrology. Um, so, and I'm a Taurus rising, so I kind of identify with some of this stuff. This deck, I'm sure there are some Taurus people, a lot of Taurus people who really like things, like aesthetic things being ruled by Venus. So this is called the Flower Child Tarot deck. Kind of has, reminds me of the early 70s more than anything, but it's so cute. To me, very cheerful, colorful. The heart of the matter is the Ace of Swords. This is a card of gaining clarity so that you're able to move forward in your life. Now, I just happened to notice that they have a 1 there in Roman numeral 1. So that's unusual to me because, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that Rider Waite, let me look at this other deck I have. Well, I'd have to go through to find the ace of all the aces and stuff. But it really does kind of hit home that it is the first of the suit cards, in other words. And I mean, yeah, like I mean, I don't know if you call those suits, whatever. But the point is that aces are beginnings, so the number 1 is very appropriate in that regard. So this is a card that, to me, can be about a person who had been deluded, or maybe they had been deceived by someone. Delusion is like self-deception. So either deceiving oneself or someone deceiving you, and you finally have cut through all of that and are able to see the truth. In the past position, we have the Temperance card, and this is a card associated with Sagittarius. So maybe it's a Sagittarian who has been doing the deceiving. Who knows? I'm a Sun in Sag with Taurus rising, so I'm one of those people. I'm not going to deceive you, that's for sure. But it's so funny because it was a Taurus person when I was doing these tarot readings on my main channel, who once said to me that it was very sketchy of me because I didn't show myself putting down the cards, because I actually started over again after kind of a false start, and I left the cards on the table. And that's like, so Taurian to do that, because it's like you're an earth sign and you're very much about, show me the proof of something. And so the Temperance card, very interestingly, can speak to this balance between the spiritual and the material. If you look at this angel, she's got 1 foot on a rock. And I always associate Taurus with rocks, like very steady, a fixed sign, very steady, very grounded. It doesn't get more grounded than a rock, right? And she has 1 foot in the water, which represents the spirit. It's almost like Aquarius with the water baron, like pouring one cup to another. A viewer told me the symbolism of that, but I forgot what it means. But anyway, the Temperance card can be about, maybe like if you have some situation in your life where you were putting too much emphasis on one thing versus another, that now you have that clarity. I would pretty much assume it would be putting too much emphasis on the material and not remembering that you're a spiritual being having a human experience. At least I think so. And so it's almost like coming to your senses, or dispelling that worldly illusion that sucks us into the material reality, which is that 3D prison planet. That is not the truth. The Hindus have a word Maya to describe worldly illusion, because that's really what the world is if we're not careful, if we're kind of like just caught up in it. We don't ever want to be caught up in that. The higher message is the Seven of Pentacles. This is a card that I see a lot of times with, like if somebody has started a business and they're very impatient because they had these ideas that it was just going to take off like a rocket ship. And it's like very, very slow. They haven't gotten a profit yet. And they're just kind of like ready to throw in the towel. And the same thing you could say with relationships. Like the Temperance card could be, especially for a sign like Taurus, if you have been, dating someone, and let's say you're a woman dating a man and he hasn't made a move on you yet. Now, normally a woman might not care. Sometimes they would be, doing, but Taurus is a sensual sign. So male or female, that might be something that you feel like you're valued by your physical desirability. And you might look at that guy and say, I think I'm going to break up with that person because they're not, like into me that way physically, so it means that this isn't going to work. They're obviously they're not into me, when that person might be madly in love with you, but they don't want to express themselves physically yet. Maybe they think it's too early. Seven of Pentacles is about investing your energy into something and assessing whether it is giving you what you want or need. And that's kind of like, the farmer's card, they call it, because, and this person is kind of in a garden. And I don't know why in this case it looks like she's kind of stressing over it, because it's really not necessarily anything like that. But sometimes it can feel that way if you're really, it's like trying your patience about something. So it could be like, to see the light, you have to see the truth of what is really valuable when it comes to love. Is it someone who is just like wanting to go to bed with you right away? Does that mean that that person is going to make a good partner, and that they are showing that they care about you? Is that really true? So sometimes the Seven of Pentacles is a person is dating, and they're like, okay, is this going anywhere? And the Temperance card is being more moderate about it, not just being into the physical side of things. Or it might be that things were imbalanced and it was too physical. And now you're seeing that, when you put energy into something, it should be like an investing in it. And if it's not providing you that kind of spiritual nourishment, if it's just like a physical thing, then it isn't balanced and it's not ultimately fulfilling. What crosses you, this is the card of what you call it, like the challenge card. We have the Star card, which is a card that is connected to Aquarius. So it could be an Aquarius person who, maybe this is the person who is not necessarily right for you in some cases. Maybe like with the Seven of Pentacles, maybe you've been wasting your time with this person, hoping that it will lead to something long lasting, and it's not, it's staying one dimensional. Um, the star card is about faith in unseen forces. So if you have a business, I mean, I'll give you a great example since I'm nearing 10 years of doing astrology and tarot, and it's actually in May during the Taurus season that I launched. Um, and for the first couple of months, I did not get any clients, and I was getting thousands of views. And I was like, it was really starting to upset me because it's totally out of your control. It's not something that you can like force, somebody to um, become a client or anything. And I didn't know if it would ever happen, and one day, and I was really ready to throw in the towel. And then one day, 2 months later, just after 2 months, I happened to look at my emails and I noticed that it was like, that I had gotten a client and my first sale, and I could have cried. I actually was in a library using their computers because my little flimsy Chromebook was, the screen had broken or something like that, and I could just cry. So that was one of the things that really, and the interesting thing about this, and I really want, if any of you are uh, dealing with something similar, is to know that after that experience, I started to get regular clients. Not that it was just like completely everything was a flood of them, but it was steady. You know what I mean? And I'm saying in that particular period of time, right after that first one. So to me, what that showed me is that there was an energetic component to it. It wasn't just about, um, like, okay, you did this thing and then you get this result, and it's very, cause and effect in a very straightforward way. No, it wasn't, because statistically, based on how many views I had gotten and all of that, I should have gotten it a lot sooner, and I didn't. And it kind of like let it go of the resistance of like, oh my gosh, I've got to get this, I've got to get this. And I knew that it was possible, because, and so that's really what the star card is about, is believing in the possibility of something when you don't yet have any proof of it. And this is what is blocking you. So if you are trying to get something started and it seems like there's no proof of anything and you're losing hope, you have to remember that it's not about the physical proof, because that's already when it manifests. You have to really, it's really about believing in yourself at the end of the day. The star card is also about guidance from loved ones who have crossed over. So there might be some people who, a certain person, or maybe it's even more than one, who is guiding you and trying to give you these messages, and maybe you're blocking them because of your mundane mind is kind of fixed on what is possible for you based on what what your beliefs are. What's coming in is a moon card. And it's interesting because with the Ace of Swords, sometimes I see that the moon can actually be deception or some kind of confusion about something. But it can also be a timing card, and we're coming up on the, oh my gosh. Yeah, we're going to have at the middle of the month, and that's the intention for this reading, is to cover up until the middle of the month, which would go until like around the 17th. On the 14th, we're going to have a lunar eclipse, which we call it's a total lunar eclipse, a blood moon in Virgo. Well, guess what? Guess where Virgo falls in your chart, Taurus? The fifth house. Guess what the fifth house represents? Love, creativity, and the business that you own. And I've covered two of these. I've covered the idea of investing in a business. I mean, when I say investing, I'm not really talking about money so much. It could be coins or pentacles can be about money, but I'm talking also about your energy in general, the effort that you're putting into something and are you receiving from it. It could be that, or it could be love. And a lunar eclipse, there could be some major shift that is happening with your love life. If you're dating someone and maybe you're wondering, are they ever going to want, maybe you've been dating them for a long time, but you've never gotten to the seventh house stage, which is committed partnership. You might be questioning the nature of the relationship, and that might be a really important thing to do, if it's been quite a while, because maybe you're not on the same wavelength as that other person. Maybe you've been physically intimate but not emotionally intimate with that person, and that has limited your ability to move ahead in this situation, because you're not in the same relationship as that person is. And that's the delusion. And this will kind of bring everything to the surface. And maybe in some cases there will be a release of that, and that would be for the best. That would be for the highest good if that's not what you want, and yet you are trying to make it happen for some reason. The outcome is a Knight of Swords, and this can be change. Big changes are coming. And certainly, again, like I said, that eclipse really is the centerpiece, and the moon, because it's a lunar eclipse, that really speaks to that, like a timing issue. So pretty interesting, Taurus. That's what I have for you, and I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.